again with the albums of the month. I really like doing this little mini segment series thing so I can highlight all my favourites just in case you've missed them, and also you've only been clicking the negative reviews for the past 30 plus days, because we don't want that. I want you to know I do like music. As always, going to run down my favourites. There's always a few as well that came from different months that I got too late, but I don't ever want to miss them, and it's always worth just reiterating how good they are anyway. So I'm going to start with a few of those, starting with Rochelle Jordan, who did drop an album in April, I believe. It did come out at the end of April, to be fair. Missed it in the April segments, right at the end, the 30th of April. Obviously did miss that one for that month, but it doesn't matter anyway, because Rochelle Jordan is a fantastic artist who is putting out some really good music at the moment, just really like sophisticated and slick and really groovy drum and bass mixed with some R&B, mixed with some house, techno, electronic, all the good things, and it just has a really great outcome. Like, you could blend all these genres together and it would be just fine, or it would be, yeah, sure, cool. It's, you know, it's not the first time it's ever been done, but just the way she's doing it is making me feel like people are sleeping the hell on her, because like, why is no one talking about this album? Why? I did sadly forget to miss off one of the main producers of this album in my original review. I do feel a bit bad about that actually, because I don't like to miss off credits, and I've always been one who hates it when people don't get the credit they deserve for things. It really frustrates me, and I've accidentally done it in one of my own videos, so I'm not exactly proud of that, but I do want to mention Clash as well. Really talented producer who worked on this album. I did mention all the other producer names in the original review, so yeah, it's a shame that I did miss off his name. But still, a huge amount of talent going into this. Really excited to see where Rochelle goes next. Would be good to see her do more collaborations in the future with Machine Drum as well, because they've now crossed over on each other's albums, and if they're going to keep doing that, I'm here for it. The other April album is Bruno Panadas. It took ages with this one. Like, seriously, man, I was sat with this album for months. Literal like months. It felt like months. It wasn't months, it was like a month at the most, but still, this one came out quite a while ago, and then I heard it, didn't really think much of it, and I kept coming back to it. The more I went back to it, the more it rewarded me every time, and I like albums like that. I mean, you end up feeling like you have a closer attachment to albums like that, a little bit like the Porter Robinson album that came out last month too. It's just one of those things that you just seem to find yourself growing more love for an album that just grows on you over time. Really lovely and wonderful and whimsical, progressive pop, you could call it, art pop, whatever you want to name it, on this album. The 2016 album as well is fantastic. The Crocodiles album, really good stuff. And this one is just about on par with it. So yeah, just really great music again from Bruno. One of the unsung heroes, I think, in modern music at the moment, because I feel like there is a huge audience for this guy, and yet it seems to be pretty small and pretty niche. But I know for a fact that if all the music nerds suddenly got onto him, I think they'd absolutely love it. Perhaps he just needs a big review, you know, from one of the bigger reviewers out there to touch on his music, and he might suddenly explode. Next, I want to mention an EP. We got Sam Gellaitry, my boy Sam. Well, Buffalo Staples boy, really. He's always been the boy of Buffalo Staple. But thank you to Buffalo Staple. Lots more people are aware of this guy, I think, now because of him. And Sam is just dropping some really great electronic music fused with pop, and the thing is that he never did this before, but suddenly he did it for this EP, and I just want to hear more of it. The way in which he just dropped tracks like Assumptions and Duo on us and expected us to just not go crazy, Like, what the fuck was this man doing? What was he doing? Did you just think we'd all sit there and go, yeah, cool? No, we didn't. We went, oh my god! Crazy how Omi sounds on this EP. And I know a few people have said like the mixing issues have cropped up with the opening track and the third track as well, which I see. I mean, it's only a 4-track EP, and I get it, but I actually think the atmosphere that he conjures up on those 2 tracks is really great as well. So yeah, really nice little EP that feels inspired by like lo-fi pop artists before him, and he knows how to make a jam. He knows how to make a jam. Sam Gellaitry is an unstoppable force. I think this guy's going to be able to do anything he wants, and it'll come out good. I want to mention Squid as well. I think this album got its due at the time. I wasn't as huge on it, but I think in terms of the highlights that we've witnessed and come across in May, you can't not mention Squid. I really do think that they dropped such an erratic and bizarre vocal album, really, because of course the instrumentals are really good in their own right, but I think it's the yelpy weirdness of the frontman that makes this band stand out. I really do. I mean, sure, some of the tracks follow similar patterns. Like, I think they did something so good on Narrator that they tried replicating it a few times, and it got a little predictable, but still, Narrator is so good. What a good track that is. Pamphlets is good too. The first section of Boy Racer is really good as well. Like, yeah, just a really good album that has so many great influences coming together and fusing them all to make a really enjoyable, animated and characterful listen. Another EP while we're at it, another EP. We got Dora Jar, who is a wonder, and she commented on my video and said she wanted to hug me. I've won. We've won. Might be one of the first times an artist who's come across one of my reviews has specifically said they want to hug me. What the hell do I do now? Of course I think this EP is great. I thought it was great before it, but now it's even better. But yeah, just some really lovely pop music that's really just so well produced. Like, it's just so well produced. Her vocals are expressive when they need to be, and they're toned down, they're tame, they're solemn when they also need to be as well. She's got a really good future ahead of her. Like, seriously, I think she is one to watch, and already with a great EP under her belt, I think she's again going to be a name that people will be talking way more about in the future. And finally, as always, we're finishing with my album of the month, and I hope you stuck around for this whole video because I'm doing something I've never done before. This is a new thing. We are always trying to try new things in our lives, in our day-to-day daily struggles. The daily struggle, we've all got it, and we're all trying to do something different. And so for the first time on this series since I started it last year in January, I'm giving my album of the month to you. No. I'm giving my album of the month to an album I haven't even reviewed yet. I've never done this before. I always talk about the albums I've officially reviewed on YouTube, whether it be on my channel or someone else's channel or whatever. But I haven't even reviewed it yet. It's not even in the world for the people to see. And the album is Bladee. Blade. We've got Blade here with his latest album. Somehow done a complete 360. You can't even call it a 180. I feel like a complete 360, upside down, spinning out of control. No idea where you've ended up landing. The spin thing, and we are now giving him album of the month when I used to think his music was terrible. But yes, I haven't actually reviewed it, and I do have a special review coming for it, but I'm not going to give you any details for this review just yet. But I will say that this is my album of the month. Don't want to go into too much detail about the album itself, but you can basically guess I like it a lot, and I think his vocals have really improved over time, and it's just become a really great album for me. I don't know how I've suddenly warmed up to his music like this, but I like the growth. Again, I like it when you go from not liking something to loving it, because it just feels special when that happens. So yeah, look out for a review of that in the future. and I will obviously share it when it happens. But basically, Bladee is my album of May, and hopefully you agree, and hopefully you let me know in the comments what your favourite albums of May were, and any I've missed off that you think were worthy of being mentioned. We'll have the songs list as well somewhere on the screen, probably here, just to kind of highlight some of my favourite songs that have come out this past month too. And that's it. Have a good day. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Lots of reviews and videos coming. As always, have a good day and goodbye.